Hola, this is Lorena, and this is Make Fun Your Business with Gary Montalvo. Hey, Gary, how are you?
Hey Lorena.
So tell us who you are.
So my name is Gary Montalvo. I'm a leadership and business coach for entrepreneurs.
And okay, I'm sweating. I'm so excited to
Yeah.
talk to you. You know, you're my favorite coach
Calm
ever.
down, honey. It's okay.
Okay, so I want you to tell us first. I know you are a creative person, and what got you into coaching? Because you are one of the best coaches I know, and I can
Thank
say that
you.
by experience. You've slapped me with love a couple times to get into action and to be the leader that I am. So I would love to know what guide you to start that path.
Sure. Um, so I was an art director before this. I worked at Sony Music designing CD packages, and then I went to do Broadway theater marketing for a while. I love being an art director. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet artists and work on really great projects. I wasn't really looking to leave that. It was I started to do transformational work for myself, and I started to discover coaching for myself. And as a result, I just fell in love with the process of supporting other people and empowering them. And then you know how you hear people say like you just get a calling one day? Like I just got a call. Yeah, it literally and I was avoiding it for a while. I'm like, no. Because you invest a lot of time and years in your career and it's really hard to think of I'm gonna leave it behind now. And yeah, and so I just got the call one loud one day and I had picked up the phone and I was like, okay, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And I just started training myself and started building my business and did the work. And here I am now.
And that must have been huge because I'm assuming like having that kind of work to tell your parents, well, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna work for Sony anymore because I'm gonna be a coach.
Yeah, yeah. See, you're Latina too, so you know the process of calling mom up and saying, "Yeah, I'm leaving my whole career behind," and they're like, "What?"
I think anybody, like this is something so new that people don't really understand that
Yeah,
it's shocking for your parents. But it takes a leader to take that step. And
yeah.
so what advice would you give somebody that is in a good job, but they're not really feeling and loving their life?
You've got to start looking. It's that the answer to that question might be different because if that's happening, what I could say is there's something calling. There's something wanting to be self-expressed inside of you that's not being expressed. And so you've got to go discover what that is for yourself. It might be a business, it might be a new hobby, it might be a relationship, it might be a trip that you have to take. Um, you got to discover what that is for you, but you've got to go, take it on. And luckily, we are at a time where there's so many people out there who can help, and there's so many ways and avenues, and take up yoga. um, but it there's a lot of options out there. You just got to start digging what it is. For me, it was that I wanted to make a difference. And though I was really good at designing and really great at my job, and I think my employees were happy with me, there was something bigger that wanted to be expressed. And so I had to go, coaching let me discover that. And it was like, oh, I can go to work every day and make a difference for people? Okay, I want to do that, you know?
So you and I, we met at a mastermind, right? It was a speaking mastermind, and I remember because they made us prepare 5 minute speeches and 10 minute speeches or 1 minute speeches. I don't know, but
All of it.
all of it, yeah. But I remember you talking about that. This is my new word, entrepreneurs. I just learned how to pronounce that. You mentioned, or somebody mentioned, you mentioned that entrepreneurs didn't feel like leaders, that they
Yeah,
had like an adverse reaction when you said that. So can you talk a
yeah,
little bit about that?
yeah. So when I started speaking, I would often. So my background is when I started coaching, it was inside of leadership. I was a leadership coach, and I still
Mhm.
am. But when I started speaking to entrepreneurs, and I would, often raise a hand, how many of you are leaders in the room or consider yourself leaders in the room? And it was like crickets. Quiet. And one or two people would raise their hand. And it was shocking to me because everything that it takes to have your own business, everything that it takes to grow your business, the risk, the commitment, the responsibility, the difference you want to make with your clients, all of those things are leadership distinctions. So it was insane to me that they were so disconnected from that. And a lot of entrepreneurs, when I would introduce myself as a leadership coach, they would just tune out because they'll say, "Oh, that's not for me." "Oh, I'm not a leader." "Oh, I don't have a team yet." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, the leader, you. Everything, entrepreneurism is hard. It's hard work. I know you know. And it takes everything, and it takes you going for it, and it takes you dealing with your mindset and all the fears and all the concerns, and all of that is leadership. So I truly believe, my whole work is about teaching entrepreneurs to tap into their inner leader, whatever that is, because how you're a leader is very different than how I'm a leader, and that's okay. Right? So I teach everyone to develop their own leadership so that they are leading their business, not the other way around.
Yep.
Yeah.
So even like leaving your job takes like leadership,
Yeah.
because that's like the biggest step to step into the unknown and something that is just difficult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who do you love working with? Like, who is your ideal client? Where do they have to be mindset wise, business wise? Who's your dreamy client?
Yeah. I love working with passionate people. Most of my clients tend to be women. They're really passionate about life. They really want to make a difference, and they're ready to go. They just need someone to show them the way and give them the next few steps to take. And once you give them those next steps, they take off. They're ready. I also work really well with people who need a little hand holding. The ones that are they have a lot to offer. I mean, you were someone like that. You had so much to offer, and you just needed a couple of things out of your way so that you can take off. And look at you now. So those tend to be my sweet spots. With more senior entrepreneurs, I'm typically working with them on managing their teams and teaching them how to um, create results through their teams. Because that's another hurdle. First is you, and then you start hiring people, and then how do you get your team to start creating the same stuff that you would create, if that makes sense. So I like to have fun. My whole thing is life is fun. Let's get to work, but why not have a blast while we're doing it? So people that like to laugh and have fun, and I tend to be a great match with.
Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Especially you're an excellent dancer. Oh, an excellent karaoke singer as well. So if you had to give advice to somebody that's a business owner and they don't feel like they're a leader, how do you tap into your inner leader?
Yeah.
Other than working with you, of course.
First thing you do is you pick up the phone and you call me.
1-800-Gary.
Yeah, sure. There's a 4-part system that I teach my clients that I call lead. And number 1 is lead with a vision. Every leader has a vision. Every leader has something they really care about. And I find that a lot of entrepreneurs don't do the work to really get clear about what's important to them. Not just in the world, but even in their business. What kind of a business do you want to have? Do you want to have the type of business where you can work remotely, or do you want to have the kind of business where you can be one-on-one connecting with clients? Those are things that you need to think about and really think them through. So connect to something that really matters to you. Connect to your why, and connect to the type of business you want, the type of life you want, and let that get all juicy, let that get all exciting, let that get really clear for you. and really do whatever you need to do to manage it. Because at the beginning, when we start our job, when we leave our jobs and we start our businesses, we're really excited about this. And typically we're connected to it and we're ready to go. And then as the struggle happens, as we start to put in the work and we hit those bumps and we start to have some failures, it's harder to get connected to it. And then we forget. And then it becomes about getting a client. Then it becomes about proving to our parents that we can do this. Then it becomes about not failing. And we lose contact with that vision. So as an entrepreneur, you have to keep that vision in front of you all the time and keep reminding yourself of it. Number two is execute a plan. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have a plan. They just get up in the morning, they start reacting to their business, they start answering emails, checking Facebook, posting on social media, and they don't have a plan. What's the target today? What's the goal for the week? How many sales calls do you need to make this week in order to hit that target? What's your 3-month plan? What's your 6-month plan? Even if, I don't have a 1-year plan right now because my business is changing so fast that it doesn't even make sense for me, because every time I do one, I have to recreate it in 3 months. But I have a 3-month and a 6-month plan in place. I know what the goals are. So definitely sit down and create a structure and create a plan. Number 3 is adjust course. It's not going to go how you plan. You have to be willing to adjust course. There's going to be failures along the way. There's going to be obstacles along the way. Life is going to happen. What determines how successful you are is how quickly you recover and how quickly you're willing to adjust course. So learn to adjust course, learn to make corrections and move on quickly. And lastly, determination is key. This is about commitment. This is about doing whatever it takes. This is about not giving up. And yes, it's going to be scary. It's scary every day. I mean, I don't think there's a day where I don't go, whoa, and the moment I take a step, I find myself at the bottom of the next one. The moment I just had, the moment I hit a goal, there's a next one. The moment you cross 6 figures, then it's like, okay, well, now it's multiple 6 figures. And then it's like, well, okay, well, 7 figures. So you're always looking to the next thing. And it's commitment and determination that get you there all the time. So those 4 things, when you implement them, when I train my clients to implement them, what starts to happen is they start to become leaders in their business. They start to really tap in to their self-expression of what leadership is. So those that's the advice I have for people who are looking to tap into their leadership.
I love it. I love it because this can apply to you when you're starting, when you're in the middle, and when you're like, Tony Robbins. Because it's interesting, we've done so much work and we've followed the processes and this and that, and then suddenly, there's a client that went crazy, and you're like, what? This is not supposed to be happening to me. And you're like, oh my God, I'm a failure. And then if you follow those steps, you can like get back into the horse, not into the horse. Don't do that. You can
back
get
on
back
the horse.
on the horse. You can get back on the horse and just keep on going. But I also think that one very important thing is to have a coach, have somebody that will help you get back on the horse, or will like help you snap out of it. Like I've called you many times and I said, okay, I am stuck in this situation. Please help me get out of it. And just like a short conversation, it's like, okay, I'm back. And people underestimate the power of having a coach. And that's why I recommend you to everybody, because I think that the system that you have is so powerful. And you as a coach, again and again and a million times, you're such a good coach. I trust you like I don't trust many people, because you have the experience. How many years have you been coaching?
Oh my God, about 8.
Yeah, it shows.
Thank you.
It shows.
Thank you.
So what are you... Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you were going to say something.
No, I was
profound.
just going to say the coaching thing. It feels a little weird for me to say that, hire a coach, because it's like a little self-serving. But I honestly tell people, I say, listen, you don't have to hire me. That's fine. I may not be the coach for you, but hire a coach. Make it work. Find a person that's going to work for you and hire it. Make it work. Take the risk. If you have to work extra hours and have the breakthrough or go into your credit cards or go into your savings, do it because it just makes such a difference. I mean, yeah, yeah. I can't say enough about it.
Yeah, and like you could get a part-time job to pay for your coach. Is that worth it? And I'm not saying that
Yeah,
because I'm a coach as well, but I don't think that my business would be where it is if I hadn't had good coaches. And I've had really
absolutely.
not so good. I don't know if they're not so good coaches, but I've had not so good experiences. But when you find a coach that's good and that will really be on your team,
Yeah,
that's so important. And like I know that you are on people's team. Again, you're the best coach ever.
thank you.
And speaking of being the best coach ever, so you are doing something super special coming up in New York City. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I have a one day event coming up on July 14th, and it's called Lead Your Business, Love Your Life. And I'm so excited about this, not just because you're going to be there as a sponsor, but I'm so excited about it because, again, the whole idea is that once I train entrepreneurs to be leaders inside of their business, to really lead their business, what I see happen after that is magnificent. So what I created was a whole day where I'm going to give these people my best stuff. I'm going to train them, light them up, really train them in how to be leaders so that they can walk out of there with real clear action items and practices that they can implement every day so that they can start to lead their business and as a result, love their life. So I'm super excited. We did one in April and it was amazing. And the feedback was just so for me it was humbling and really special, and I'm really excited to be doing it again. It's going to be a all day event, so come ready to take on your business, take on your life, and really deal with the blocks that are limiting you in your business.
Yes, and because I'm a sponsor, I get some free tickets, right?
Yes ma'am, you do.
So I'm gonna put the link below, and people should really come. Like I said, I mean, I know, like I've said it. This should be a drinking game. Gary is an awesome. Every time I say Gary is an awesome coach, people should drink. So yeah, people should come because you are amazing. But also, you do webinars quite often, right? Like at least.
Yeah, like every 6 weeks probably.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll also put your website so people can sign for your newsletter. And you do videos. You do amazing videos.
Yeah, I do. I have a video blog series that we launched at the beginning of earlier the year, and people really love them too. They're a lot of fun. Not as fabulous as yours. They don't have glitter and pink hotness and amazingness.
Yes, I thought I would dress up for you, and you dressed up for me.
Yes, I wore pink for you.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so one last, I don't know, piece of love or advice that you have for entrepreneurs.
Um, yeah. Look, I think the biggest thing that I can tell you is just take a step. Whatever that step is, just take a step. I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed with the end goal and we get so overwhelmed with, like, I know that when I first started my business, it was like I was looking at all these multiple six figure and big time people going like, I can never do that. How am I ever going to get there? And it paralyzed me. And what I can tell you now is forget all that. Just take a step. Just get back on there. Just take a step. Take a step every day. If you take a step every day, by the end of the year, you would have taken 365 steps.
It's true. And also do your own thing, because so many
Yeah.
times you don't take the step because you cannot have like the one day event like Gary. Or
Yeah.
you cannot do the videos like, I don't know, Gary too, actually. And you're like, oh no, I have to be perfect. I have to have it all like make sense, and I
Yeah.
cannot right now. It's just doing it and doing what you love and what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
That, like, for me, like, the Wealthy Sexy Rebel events that I do, um, they came out of just the necessity to have fun and do something that really filled my heart, and they became successful. I think that if I were to compare my events to somebody else, I would have never done them. So just like take a
Yeah.
step, have fun. And speaking of fun and dancing, what makes your heart dance?
Ice cream.
Oh, I thought that you were going to say something else.
No, well, no. um, I, well, music, first of all, I think you and me are the same when we hear music. We just have to get going. But I really love my life. I love what I'm doing. I love the difference that I'm making. I love that I get to travel and that I get to meet awesome people and that I get to work with people on their most important thing that they really care about. And I love to sit on the couch with my husband and have a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream and
That's
pretend that
nice.
we're gonna have the whole pint, like, oh, we're just gonna have some. The next thing you know, it's all done.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Um, okay, so where can people find you?
So my website is latitudecoachingnyc.com. You can also email me at Gary@latitudecoachingnyc.com. Find me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Just,
Just
Google
do
Gary
it.
Montalvo. Come find me. I'm everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gary. I love talking to you. You know that drink. Gary's the best coach.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
listen, I just want to say I think you're brilliant. I'm so proud of you and how much you've grown in the last year and a half. And I love what you're doing with your business and your events. And, you're just making such a difference with women. So thank you for being such a leader and showing us what is possible when you take the risk and leap and do the work. You've really been busting your butt. So it's paying off. Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Mwah.
Bye, honey.